JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Kingston man charged with shooting with intent. A Kingston man who allegedly shot at another following an altercation has been charged with shooting with intent and illegal possession of firearm following an incident in his community last year. Charged is 36-year-old Dwayne Dobson of Fleet Street in Kingston. The police said on Sunday, March 15, 2020, both the complainant and the accused man were involved in an altercation. Later that day, Dobson allegedly returned with a firearm and shot at the complainant. The incident occurred about 4 p.m. However, the police said the complainant ran and managed to escape unharmed. He later reported the incident to the lawmen. Dobson was arrested yesterday in the Vineyard town area and subsequently charged. He will answer to his charges at a later date, the police said. Submachine gun seized in 100 Lane. Man held after shootout with cops. The St. Andrew North Police say they have recovered a submachine gun following a heated gun battle with gunmen in the 100 Lane community located off Red Hills Road. The incident took place on Monday afternoon. Reports are that the lawmen, acting on tips that criminals from the neighboring Park Lane area were headed to 100 Lane to carry out attacks, went into the community in search of them. It is understood that the men opened fire at the police team and the gunfire was returned. One of the men reportedly ran, leaving the weapon, which was later picked up by the police. The firearm serial number was erased and contained a magazine loaded with 10 9mm cartridges. One of the suspects was held after a search of the area. Approximately 19 spent shells were retrieved for evidential purposes. Investigations are ongoing. Manchester farmer freed in case of causing death by dangerous driving. 30-year-old farmer Mark Wint of Richmond District, Manchester, has been freed of causing death by dangerous driving. Wint was charged after Myrtle Wood, a pedestrian, died as a result of a motor vehicle accident on the night of December 31, 2019. He was freed in the Manchester Parish Court after Attorney-at-Law Ashford Meikle made a no-case submission that the Crown did not produce any evidence to prove that Wint was reckless in the way he was driving when the pedestrian was hit. The accident reconstruction expert testified that he could not conclude whether the driver or the deceased was at fault. Meikle submitted last week that the findings did not point to excessive speed by the accused, which would be an indication of reckless driving. In referring to the post-mortem report, Meikle said it supported the accused's account that the deceased walked out in the road in front of his motor vehicle. The parish judge upheld the submissions and freed Wint. Bonnie Francis's killers to be sentenced March 25. Carlos Batista and George Gardner, the two men found guilty Monday by a judge for the 2011 murder of Roderick Bonnie Francis, a high-profile player in the local fishing industry, will on March 25 know their fate. Francis, then CEO of B&D Trawling Limited, was shot outside his Queensway, St. Andrew home on Saturday, January 25, 2011, by gunmen pretending to have car trouble in a suspected contract killing. The police subsequently arrested Carlos Batista of Allardyce Drive, Kingston 8, George Gardner, Sheldon Watson, and Newton Welsh, all of Kingston addresses in connection with the killing. However, at the start of the trial in October last year, the prosecution offered no evidence against Welsh, which left the court with no recourse but to let him walk. But Watson later that month changed his plea to guilty for the offense of accessory after the fact to murder and was sentenced on December 10 last year to 2 years imprisonment, suspended for 3 years with supervision. Batista and Gardner were found guilty by Supreme Court Judge Justice Georgina Fraser following an approximately 8-week trial. The prosecution, led by Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn, offered evidence from 36 witnesses, including direct eyewitnesses, testimonies of Francis's son and his wife. The prosecution also relied on scientific circumstantial evidence, including call data records, calls and text messages, and vehicular tracking evidence. It was revealed that Batista, a Dominican Republic citizen who was at one point employed by Francis before he left the company to work with a direct competitor of Francis, known as DYC Fishing, plotted with Gardner and at least one other person to kill his former boss. Batista rented a motor vehicle, which was used to stake out Francis's residence and was also used as a getaway vehicle. The evidence also showed that on the date of the killing, Francis was ambushed along Queensway as he drove from his home. His son, who was at home and leaving in another vehicle behind his father, challenged the assailant in a gun battle and shot the getaway vehicle. Batista afterwards contacted Watson, who facilitated and assisted with the repairs of the getaway vehicle. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, or DPP, in a statement issued to the media Monday, gave special commendations to the witnesses who gave evidence in the matter. The witnesses demonstrated tremendous courage and fortitude throughout the long period that this case was before the court and its many delays. Once again, the office takes this opportunity to highlight that cases of this nature cannot be tried without witnesses who are prepared to come forward and give the evidence despite any delay, the ODPP stated. Llewellyn further commended Investigating Officer Detective Inspector Mark Foster and the officers of the Major Investigations Task Force, MIT, which conducted the investigations, as well as the expert analyst, Deputy Superintendent Warren Williams, and Sergeant Sean Brown of the Communication, Forensics, and Cybercrimes Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The trial, which was held in camera, took place after a series of starts and stops over the years caused by varying issues, ranging from documents being outstanding to a disagreement between prosecution and defense on how the matter should be tried. The trial was once again postponed as late as 2019 after the defense suggested that it be tried by a judge alone, while the prosecution insisted upon a judge and jury. In another twist, 3 of the accused gave their then attorneys the boot, further stalling the proceedings. Tufton tables vaccination plan. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, yesterday tabled the interim COVID-19 deployment and vaccination plan during the sitting of the House of Representatives. According to the minister, the plan covers the planning and coordination of vaccine introduction, the legal and regulatory framework, the phased approach of COVID-19 vaccination introduction in Jamaica, target populations and vaccination delivery strategies, human resources management and training, supply chain management, risk assessment and mitigation strategies, vaccine program communication, vaccine safety monitoring, and COVID-19 vaccine program monitoring and evaluation. Dr. Tufton noted that the plan includes an emergency approval regulatory process for COVID-19 vaccines, which will cover the granting of an emergency use authorization for the vaccines to be used in Jamaica. He explained that a multi-sectoral and multi-stakeholder governance structure has been established to lead the coordination and deployment of the COVID-19 vaccine. A national coordinating committee has also been established to design, plan, and provide leadership to the field on all activities related to the vaccine introduction, the minister said. The minister added that the budget required to support the first phase of the introduction and deployment of the vaccines to vulnerable and priority groups is $3 billion. This, he said, will cover the purchase of the vaccines, supply chain and cold storage items, personal protective equipment, transportation, staff training, staff cost, and public education and sensitization cost. Jamaica records 68 new COVID-19 cases, 2 deaths. Jamaica has recorded 68 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 additional virus-related deaths in the last 24 hours. This brings the country's death toll to 331 and the total number of cases to 14,487. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, a 58-year-old woman from Kingston and St. Andrew and a 48-year-old woman from St. Mary are the country's latest fatalities. Of the 68 new cases, there were 29 males and 39 females, with ages ranging from 2 to 76 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine, 15 each, Clarendon 9, Manchester 8, St. Anne and St. James 6 each, St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland 3 each, St. Mary 2, and Hanover 1. The country also recorded 34 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 11,777. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.